Hello everyone, I'm Keen47, aka Wolfkeen, and welcome to another edition of Wolfkeen Talks. Now, today on Wolfkeen Talks, I was watching a video by Doug Walker, aka the Nostalgia Critic, and it was a very interesting subject that he was talking about. Basically, he gave us background that he is a gamer in some cases, but he's a casual gamer. He's not really into like all these crazy games that are coming out. I mean, he is a movie critic after all, so he probably watches a lot more movies than he actually does play games. So he was asked a question, and honestly, it's a pretty hard question to answer. Is video games an art form? And honestly, I gotta admit, that is a pretty tough question to answer because a lot of people can say, yes, it's an art form. A lot of people can say, no, it's not an art form. I mean, there's really no way you can say, there's really no definitive yes or no if video games is an art form. I will say that video games is an art form, and the Nostalgia Critic says the same thing because everything that we do is an art form. Bad pictures that you draw when you were 3 years old, that's art. Quality pictures that are done by, Picasso, that's art. Video games, that's art. No matter what, everything is art. But the real question that he asked was, is video games high art? Get me? Like, is video games high art? Like, is it high quality art? I really wouldn't be able to answer that, even though I'm a hardcore gamer. Because there's a lot of games out there that really do show an art form. Like, different art forms, like Bioshock. Bioshock is probably one of the craziest art forms I've seen in video games. I haven't played any Bioshock games, but I've seen so much of them, especially some of the ideologies of Bioshock. Then you have like some art forms like Metal Gear Solid and stuff like that. I mean, it's really hard to say, is video games really an art form? Like, can we definitively say, is video games an art form? In my honest opinion, I really do feel like video games are an art form, and I feel like they're just going to get better and better with the new generation consoles coming out. With the new generation consoles coming out, I feel like that this art form of video games is only going to improve further and further as the technology gets better and better. If you want my opinion about the E3 press conferences, you can go to the link below. You'll see like my first E3 videos. I'll probably post them, all there, or maybe do a playlist. I'll probably just put the playlist. But back on subject. Is video games an art form? I honestly think they are. I do think video games are an art form because it's hard to say like games like Mirror's Edge is not an art form. Metal Gear Solid 4 is not an art form. Different games like that. Yes, there are mindless games like Call of Duty and stuff like that, but other games that really do push the boundaries and stuff like that, make it feel like you're watching a movie in some cases, they feel like a great art form, like Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 felt like the closest to a movie, except we were playing it. Because let's face it, what's the difference between a movie and a video game? In a video game, you have choice. In a movie, you do not. You can watch the movie over and over again, and it will never change. But when you play a video game, it's always changing, no matter what. Yes, I know the story never changes, but your decisions change. Get me like, do I approach this situation this way, or do I approach it that way? This is the main difference between video games and movies. And like I said, is video games an art form? I do believe it is. But is it a high art form? That's a very hard question to answer because I haven't ran into that game yet that I consider it to be a high art form. Who knows? Maybe The Last of Us will be that high art form I'm looking for. So let me ask you the question. Do you think video games is an art form? And if you do you think it's a high art form? Get me? Do you think it's a high art form? Let me know in the comments below, because I would love to hear your opinions about this. So that was one of the subjects I really wanted to talk about because he really did intrigue me with that question, is video games an art form? So now let's move on to some other things. Updates. This Friday, The Last of Us is being released, and I do want to do a live stream, but there's just a couple of problems. I upload on the weekend. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to push my Last of Us stream to Monday. I'm going to push it to Monday around 2 o'clock, and I'm going to play straight till about 10 o'clock. I'm going to see how far I can make it in The Last of Us in like the span of 8 hours, and see how far I can make it. If I beat The Last of Us next week, I will be doing my review next week of The Last of Us, because I may dabble in some multiplayer during the weekend, so this way I can get used to the game in some cases. Now, with that settled, this Friday will be more Mirror's Edge videos. I'll be uploading 2 more Mirror's Edge videos. I think the 2 video idea is working pretty well, so I'm just going to go with that. Saturday will be another Persona 4 Arena ranked matches video. I'm going to be using Yosuke again because I recorded the videos back to back. Someone did suggest for me to use Kanji in Persona 4 Arena, and I have been practicing as Kanji. So hopefully I'll actually do okay when I actually use them. And Sunday will be Fallout New Vegas footage. I'll be uploading a video of Fallout New Vegas. And, you know, the week after that will be Resident Evil 6, not 6, 5. So those are the updates for now for my channel. Not much going on. I mean, I'm pretty freaking tired still because I've been covering E3. So, last thing I need to talk about. Someone asked me a question. Like, I was playing some Dead Rising 2, and I told him I was a part of the Smosh Games Alliance, and he asked me a question. Here's the question he asked me, and I'm going to put it below. If I could hang out with one member of the Smosh Games, who would it be, and why? That's a very hard question. There's 6 members in Smosh Games, so who would I want to hang out with, and why? So let's go through the list of members. First off, Lasercorn. Honestly, Lasercorn would annoy the living crap out of me, if anything. I would probably see myself hanging out with him, but I'm pretty sure he would annoy the crap out of me because of the way he treats his friends and the way he is in his personality. But I do admit that some of his jokes and stuff like that, especially his shoot him in the balls jokes, is kind of perfect because that's how I am sometimes. I just love shooting people in the balls. Don't judge me. Especially with a sniper rifle. But anyways, I'm pretty sure Lasercorn would probably annoy the living crap out of me, but I do like, you know, the way he is at times. I mean, I could see myself actually going along with his jokes. Sohinki. I don't really see me and Sohinki actually hanging out because his ideas and my ideas are a little different. Like, they're a little different, and I don't think we would be able to, you know, get along together. I think me and him would probably argue at each other. Kind of like Anthony and Sohinki. You know how, like, Anthony hates Dota, and Sohinki likes Dota, and Sohinki won't shut the hell up about Dota, and Anthony keeps telling him to shut the hell up about Dota. Like, I think it would be one of those situations where me and Sohinki would be arguing about 2 different games, and none of us would shut the hell up about it. So, no. Jovenshire. Honestly, I could see myself hanging out with Joven because we're both nerds in most cases. We're both gamers, and we have some pretty good personality towards each other. I mean, I think I would like to hang out with Joven because I feel like I would actually be a good friend to him. Though I would probably beat him in a lot of games because of his. I've seen his skill in both Game Bang and Raging Bonus, and unfortunately, he really chokes up badly. So I don't know if that's really because the cameras come on or something like that, but from what I've seen, I think I would end up beating him in a lot of games, and that would probably annoy him. So yeah, Joven I would probably hang out with. Mari. I really can't say yes or no to that one because I really don't know if you know, maybe it would be cool to hang out with Mari, but at the same time, I don't know if it would be a good idea. I just don't know. So please don't push it onto me like this question. Let's go on to the next person. Anthony. Yeah, I can see myself hanging out with Anthony. Anthony seems like a very level-headed person. I know he puts on I know he looks like a jokester and stuff like that, but I think he's pretty level-headed in real life, and I think he's a cool person to be around. Not because he's Smosh. I'm taking that away. Get me? I'm just talking about these guys personality-wise. I'm not talking about their fame. Anthony looks like he would be a cool guy to hang out with, and I think me and him would actually get along pretty well. So yeah, I probably would hang out with Anthony if given the opportunity. Ian. I really don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the way Ian is, it looks like he's like this in real life sometimes. And it's not that I hate Ian's personality. Don't get it twisted. I don't hate Ian's personality. I just think that we would probably annoy each other. I think me and him would probably annoy the living crap out of each other till one of us decides to finally leave. So, yeah, probably not Ian. So, if I could hang out with a member of Smosh Games, it would probably be Jovenshire or Anthony. So, it would be one of those two. If you have questions you want to ask me, and I'll answer. If you have questions you want to ask me, leave a comment below. I'll answer them on the next Wolfkeen Talks episode. So, not much else I need to do. Expect some new videos this weekend, and also expect my live stream of The Last of Us on Monday. So, until next time, I'm Keen47, aka Wolfkeen. Actually, I may do a live stream of The Last of Us this weekend. It depends. Just pay attention to my Twitter. Pay attention to my Twitter. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. I do updates on my Twitter and Facebook about my plans for today. So my plans could change. My plans may change. So don't hold me that, I may do The Last of Us on Monday. I may do it Friday. Like, upload the videos and then do it Friday. So just pay attention to my Twitter and you'll be given updates on when I may do stuff. So, until next time, I'm Keen47, aka Wolfkeen. This has been another edition of Wolfkeen Talks. So until next time, take care.